Greetings, friends and fellow rebels, and welcome to the woods. Today, I want to ask you this question. Are you a spiritual rebel? Let's talk about what that means. Those who see spirituality as being inexplicably tied to religion are not spiritual rebels. If your idea of spirituality is the belief system that you were taught since your childhood, the belief system that most of your community holds, and you believe that spiritually because it's what everybody believes, you are not a spiritual rebel. Spirituality, in its purest sense, is managed by religion, but it really shouldn't be. Religion is useful in taking the spiritual gifts, the abilities, the energy of a group of people, bring it together under a common set of beliefs, a common set of narratives, a common story that they can all relate to, that they all understand, that they can all tie into their life, bring them together under a common story, and then they can utilize their spiritual energy to accomplish goals in their community, in their world, to create the reality within their world based on those shared ideas. So if you want to build a community and you want to use your spiritual energy to shore it up, which, whether you know it or not, you do need, bringing people together under a shared story is the way to do it. Religion holds that function. It allows people to, with a common belief, a shared belief, shared values, shared goals, to come together and make good things happen or make bad things happen. Really, it's indiscriminate. It's about pulling your energy, bringing it together with someone else. And that's why people within a religion, more or less, have to agree with each other on what is believed, what is the story. They have to agree on the story that's holding them together. And ideally, they have to agree on the goal and the values and what all that means to their community. When you start breaking that apart, you start disintegrating the bonds that allow the spiritual energies to work with each other. And if you pit the spiritual energies against each other, then all the benefit that you have of having that religion goes away. Once you start a war inside of an organization, a group, a church, a synagogue, a temple, once you start warring with those energies from within, those energies can no longer be used to set reality the way that that group wants it to be. Now, part of the problem with Western religion, and well, I suppose not just Western religion, probably all over the world, you have people who, at the top, the leadership, who have decided that the spiritual energy of the entire group is theirs and theirs alone to decide on what will be done with it, how reality is going to be created. And they don't give the people who are lending their strength any say in the matter. They unilaterally decide how it's going to be. And that has been the case up until this time. Those who are spiritual rebels stand aside from that process and refuse to give their energy over to the group. We are sovereign. Our spiritual energy is our spiritual energy. If we choose to gift it to a group, an organization, a church, a temple, a synagogue. It's our choice. If we decide that that's not what we want to do, if we don't believe in the goals, or we discover something about those organizations that don't suit us, if we don't like how our energy is being harvested and used, then we can pull it back. It's up to us. Nobody tells us where our energy is going to go. That is between us and Source. If you can see the difference, if you understand that, if you understand that ultimately you are responsible for your spirituality, for your spiritual gifts, for your spiritual energy, if you hold that responsibility yourself, in the society as it now stands, you are a spiritual rebel. I think it's the wisest way to be, to have a personal relationship with Source, to hold your sovereignty in your spirituality. I don't believe that it is required that you believe any specific story for the purpose of pooling your energy with a group. But I also believe that if you want to lend strength to an organization, to a group, to a tribal identity within religion, that's your choice too. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you can answer to how that vitality that you are sending them will be spent. On a related matter, there are those who believe that spirituality can only be measured by the good that you do in the world, the physical good, which means donating money, time, or energy to those who are perceived to be in need. Now, those of us who are spiritual rebels do that in a personal way. In our lives, day to day, when we see a need, we step in to fill that need. We act to help. Where Source guides us, we go. There are many who are not comfortable with that, those who are within the mainstream. They have thrown their lot to doing charitable works for organizations designed for that purpose. Or is that really what they're doing? Some of these organizations act to uphold the fabric of the current paradigm. And there are many things within the current paradigm that need to be restructured. So you send your money or you spend your time on these organizations, and you discover that 80% of your money is going toward the people within the organization who administer it, who are not needy. They are making a wonderful living, convincing you that they're doing good deeds, when in actuality, they're harvesting your money and doing a small amount of what they have to do to keep up the facade. This is one of the reasons why spiritual rebels, when we choose to do good in the world, we do it personally. We do it with those who we know are in integrity. And if we can't verify that, performative charitable works where we cannot see the benefit, where we're not sure if what we're giving is getting to those who need it, not too smart. So that's not something that most of us do without a good reason. Something to think about, and welcome to the woods.